Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Hoops and Football. I am Shannon, the host. Alright, guys, today is just a Serpell Report. I know a lot of people have issues with the I word, so I'm just going to call it the Serpell Report, because the man is working his bloody magic. Alright, so, a couple of players are out, a couple of players have been jumped forward a lot more than they were last week, so a couple of good news. There's probably a lot of good news coming out of this report. So, Samson Ryan is still 1 to 3 weeks away. I think he was last week. He was 1 to 3. So nothing too much. Now, Makelti Lafau is 1 to 3. I am pretty sure he was 2 to 5 last week. So this is big. He could be back playing next week in the VFL. Probably will be on managed times anyway. But it just says Macau's doing really well. I'm happy to say that he'll be back in 1 to 3 weeks. So you get tested. He gets tested next week. There you go. Tested next week to see him on the field very soon. So it could be as much of next week's VFL game. We could see Lafau playing, which I think would be really good for the seniors, because I think he would be the player. He'd be that good proper second tall, and pinch ruck, because he's a big body. Like, he's a big boy. So it would definitely be good to see him back. Kalina is out 2 to 4 weeks with a knee injury. Taylor Young, I think he was like 4 to 6 weeks last week. He's now down to 2 to 4. So he's slightly behind Lafau. So he just got to do some more training, and results will probably return to play in a little bit. So he's probably 2 weeks away. You might see him play. Now, the old meatball, Dion Prestia, has actually now got a timeline. Now, we all probably say he was given a timeline at the start of the year, and it stayed the same. So who knows? But Dion Prestia has been allocated 3 to 5 weeks to return. So I'm not 100% sure that's going to stick, because he was on 3 to 5 weeks for about 10 weeks, and then it went away for a couple of weeks. So who knows? It just says he's getting more and more involved in the footy drills. He is running sessions on weekends for the rehab guys. He's also putting in a good amount of body work, and also he has that case going on with the police. Who knows what's going on with that? It's up and down, him and May. So the other exciting news is Taj Houghton has now officially been given a date or timeline. He's 7 to 10 weeks away. So I think a little bit longer than we thought, considering I think he did his in May or June. So he's close up to a year, but I like the idea if they're going to drag it out. Just because he's a high draft pick, and I don't want to get him in there and he's injured straight away. So I'd rather see him take longer and then return and not have to go out again, because there's a high expectations he's going to be a staff/small forward/midfield. So Harry Armstrong, one of my favourite players from the drafts that slipped really well. Harry Armstrong is 8 to 11 weeks away. So he says Harry's doing really well in training. He still has a bit of work to get through at the moment, but we'll see him out there as much as possible as the next little while. Hopefully he can build on some of his athletic development, though. And then the other one is Josh Kipkis still has to be assessed. So it just says for Gibbo, as in /Josh Kipkis, what we are going to do is still be cautious approach. We're still managing him through 2 significant injuries year on year, and we'll put him through some testing over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we get him back for a more accurate time frame after that. So Josh Kipkis, big fan, country Victorian boy as I am. I would love to see him not play the whole year. I know probably people won't like that opinion, but I think it might be what's best for him for his recovery. Give him nearly 2 years of recovery time before he plays a game, because it's just been 2 major injuries, one after the other, and he's a big part of our future. And so I think the idea would be for me is that you give him the two years of time frame, he can build himself up, probably strengthen himself up, and probably bulk up a bit as well, and get that extra growth into him. So that's it. So a couple of good news for us, for young fellas off the ACL injuries. So yeah, that's probably about it for this quick injury report. All right, guys. As usual, and always, go Tigers and stay safe.